This one sounds like a BBC news theme. This is like the Spanish nightclub version. You know what? This actually reminds me of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater video game. Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today we are looking at Premier League football anthems. Now, I don't watch football myself, but my partner is a huge fan and he has asked that I give a musician's perspective on what makes these anthems so great. I know football fans around the world associate these anthems with excitement and nostalgia, so let's take a look. We're kicking off with the original Premier League anthem. This one sounds like a BBC news theme. It's a full orchestra. Very brassy, which gives off very regal vibes. I'd almost expect to see this at, the Queen's coronation or something. It's got this driving beat to it, dun, 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 which almost mimics like a heartbeat to get you excited and pumped up for the game that's about to start. It really has, it has a nostalgic feel to it because it is a full orchestra. There's no modern elements to that at all. It almost takes me back a couple hundred years in my mind in England. It kind of got a sense of nobility. Maybe it's giving the feel that football is the gentleman's sport. That's very much what this orchestral arrangement is achieving. All right, now let's move on to the next one, which came out in 2004. Oh, the remix. This has got the exact same melody line. This is the same song as before, but this is like the Spanish nightclub version. It's almost entirely electronic elements, electronic instruments. Oh, and then there's the drop. And again, this beat is the pulsing beat that mimics your heart rate and gets you feeling excited for the game. This one with its electronic nightclub feel really, feels super modern, very contemporary to the time. It's got this really simple melody that's running through it. While there's this constant beat, the melody is so simple, which makes it something that'll stick in your head and become iconic because you can hum that back. Awesome, that's fantastic to have like this orchestral version directly before, this super modern remix of the same song. All right, we're starting the next one. My Saturday Self. This came out in 2007. And was the next iteration of the Premier League anthem. Let's have a look. Okay, electric guitars. Oh. This is sort of like a 70s to 80s rock feel. Super classic electric guitars. And then it's got this synthesizer element that's doing the da-da-da-da-da-da. I really like this one. I love this sort of, classic rock 70s rock feel. That's my sort of music that I love. This one kind of reminds me of David Bowie. We Could Be Heroes. It's sort of a similar vibe to that. I really like this one. I think this one could be my favorite. Let's see what else is to come, but so far I'm loving the classic vibe of this with those electric guitars. It's really creating the sense of nostalgia. It's like they know that, you know, football is something that sticks with people throughout life. You start watching from a young age, you keep watching till the day you die for a lot of people. And so there's all these memories associated with that, whether you watched it with your family on a Sunday afternoon or, you know, you watched it with your mates at the pub. There's so many memories associated with football, and I feel like they really tapped into that with this version. With that 70s feel, I think they're targeting people probably in their 40s and 50s who, you know, remember music from that era and remember it fondly as some of their favorites, and it's really speaking to them especially, but, you know, of course anyone can appreciate that music. I love it. I'm a little bit younger, but I love that sort of music too. So this one, with its retro electric guitar feel, is really hitting that nostalgia that footy fans talk about. So great job on this one. All right, the next one coming up is called Fire. Came out in 2010, and I have heard that this one is a favorite amongst football fans. I haven't heard it yet, so let's see what this one's all about. So this one is giving you real grungy garage band vibes. It's sort of, for me, the song that pops out is Bohemian Like You by the Dandy Warhols. It's kind of got, you know, a bit of that Nirvana era grungy garage band sort of feel to it. So again, it's hitting that nostalgia factor, but this time for a slightly younger demographic, because this is late 90s, early 2000s. I love it. It's got a great bass line on it that sort of walks up. And it's all electric guitars. It's electric guitars with a surfy sort of tone on it. So that lead melody line there is an electric guitar, just with a different tone on it to the other ones we're hearing. You know what? This actually reminds me of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater video game. My brother used to play the hell out of it, and I remember the soundtrack was very much all in this similar vein. So to me, this Fire version, I love it too. It reminds me of my childhood listening to my brother play Tony Hawk Pro Skater. All right, we're moving on to the next one. This one came out in 2013, and it is called Gloria. Gloria, okay, I don't know what that's going to sound like just yet. I wonder, is it going to be more of these, another era of nostalgic? We've had sort of late 70s vibes, then had late 90s vibes. What's this one going to be? Is it going to be more modern, or is it going to be a different decade? Okay. We're back to a full orchestra with a choir. Oh wow, it's very dramatic. And you know what it is? It's those string lines. Violins and cellos are going dun 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 dun, which is hyping you up. There's a great drum part in this too that's going dun 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 dun. And of course, those choral parts, the choir there is so dramatic. It's heavenly. It's like a church. And then you've still got those brass lines throughout it, which sort of is similar to that original theme song that was all trumpet lines. Right, and end it with a big cymbal at the end there. I think maybe there was a timpani as well. Wow, back to the full orchestra. Super dramatic. Wow, yeah, I could hear that at a really important moment in a TV show. Again, it's sort of got this... I feel like when you hear an orchestra, you sort of feel this nobility, this royal sort of feeling to it. So it's again maybe touching on that football being the gentleman's sport type of thing. Did you notice those lines where the strings were building up, do, 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 and then that's when the chorus, the full chorus is coming going, Gloria! That was a fantastic element that just, it actually gave me some goosebumps at some points. It's, wow. Right, and you know, football is a church for a lot of fans out there. It's the thing they watch religiously every week. So it means so much for people. Some people live their life by what's going on in football. So I feel like this one, Gloria, really touched on that church religious feel, as well as throwing back to the original theme song where you've got the orchestra, making it feel like this elite sport. Okay, we're moving on to the next theme song. This one is called This Is Premier League. What a great name for the song. It says what it is on the tin. This one came out in 2016. Where are they going to go from here? Are they going to stick with the orchestras? Are they going to go more modern? Is it going to be nostalgic? I'm really curious. Let's see what they did in 2016. Modern. Sort of reminds me of an Avicii style track. Oh, okay. That bass and the drum line, it's almost like a dubstep sort of feel. It's got this sort of glitchy, trippy sort of effect on it, and especially exemplified in that drum beat. It's keeping you on your toes. It's not just a straightforward bum, bum, bum. It's a duh. So it's got a lot of modern elements in it. They're almost all electronic instruments, probably a producer on his computer making this one. But it's so interesting. They've carried over from Gloria the idea of having a voice through it. They've got a voice going, yeah, 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 yeah. They're almost using the voice like another instrument. And then there's that sound, and I think it's just a sound effect, but it almost sounds like a stadium full of fans cheering, and it just pops up every now and then throughout that song. So yeah, it really... that's bringing football into the modern world. It's very much fan focused because, you know, they've got the cheering sort of sound. They've got the voices. That could easily be a chant that people sing at the stadiums. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I like it. A huge contrast from the last one. And yet, as I pointed out, there's some similar elements there with the voice. All right, and we are up to the most current Premier League football anthem. This one came out in 2020. I haven't heard it. I have no idea what it's going to sound like. If we're looking at a pattern of what we've heard so far, it sort of goes orchestral, then a really nightclubby remix, which happened twice now, and then it went to something nostalgic, sort of 70s. So I wonder, is this one going to be like another 70s or 80s feeling one? Where are they going to go with it? Let's find out. Okay, we're back to the orchestra. It's a much calmer one than previous ones. And then you've got a rock drum and an electric guitar come in. It's kind of like opera, where you've got that crossover of orchestral classic with then the fusion of the modern sound coming in. I almost feel like Coldplay could have written this one. You've got that big build up. And then the breakdown. Back to another build up. It's a real fusion. It's got sort of a rock drum kit that we're hearing, an electric guitar, but then you've got a choir and stringed instruments fusing together. Now it's broken apart back to just that orchestral feel. This one's a lot more serene. It's got these moments that are just so peaceful, but then it builds up and hypes up again with the drum kit coming back in. And then these moments where the strings go high and the choir comes in, it's like the big release. It's like the euphoria moment. And a super dramatic ending, like the end of a movie with the dudum. Yeah, okay. I don't really know how I feel about that one. I feel like that one's a little bit bland compared to the others we've heard. The others have each had a really distinct feel, a distinct style, a genre that they maybe reference. That one was, trying very hard to be a fusion, but I'm not sure that it really achieved maybe what it was wanting to achieve. It didn't really have those iconic moments, those melodies that you could still hum afterwards in your head after listening to it. So I think the most recent one is actually my least favorite out of all the ones we've heard today. It had these polar opposite moments where it would, be this peaceful orchestra. You could maybe see yourself in a field in a Jane Austen sort of movie. And then the rock band would come in and play alongside the orchestra. And it was just focusing so hard on hyping up. It was these constant moments of do, 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 do. It was constantly just trying to hype you up, and it's like, I'm hyped. I can't go any higher. I'm at the peak. You got to bring me back down. So that one just felt repetitive, a little bit bland to me. As I said, it feels like Coldplay could have written that one. It's got that atmospheric, soft rock kind of feel mixed in with some strings. Who knows, maybe Chris Martin was behind this one. So which ones were my favorite anthems? Well, for me, my two favorites were My Saturday Self and Fire. So My Saturday Self was the one I said reminded me of David Bowie. It was very 70s rock kind of feel. And then Fire was the one that I said reminded me of Tony Hawk Pro Skater. It was kind of late 90s grungy garage band sort of feel. Those two ones I felt were great. I felt they still had the nostalgia element, but I think it probably speaks to the fans a bit more because it's nostalgia for the people that are actually watching football right now. Whereas an orchestra feels like it might be nostalgia to my granny, not really for me or my dad. So those are my thoughts on those Premier League anthems. I'm really curious though, which ones are your favourites? Which ones remind you of something or, bring back memories of when you're actually watching the game? Which ones were the ones that were always stuck in your head and you were humming them throughout the week until the next game was on? For me, I think Fire would be the one that would really get stuck in your head. Dun, 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 dun. That guitar line, awesome. I could see that being the one that really gets stuck in your ear. But let me know in the comments. So thanks for watching. Hope you had fun with me looking at these Premier League football anthems through a musician's eyes, or ears. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want some more interesting musical perspectives on life. And let me know in the comments which was the one that really stood out to you, which one stuck in your head, which one reminded you of another song. I don't know, let me know. See you next time.